All right. Hello, and welcome to Stasis Pod, the Transformers Robots in Disguise podcast. I'm Rob.
I'm Jen 2015.
I'm David, not in disguise, and for this preview episode we have guests, which are... Somebody go first.
Waiting for a cue.
Just both of us just nodding at the door, one or the other, waiting for the other one to move. This is Trent.
Greg. We wrote stuff.
Yes, they have secret inside information about robots in disguise.
Yes, we've had
which
you
we're
both
not
on
going to
for...
tell you.
We had you both on for the Gridman episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was... Were you on for anything else? It's been a while.
I remember doing a Gridman episode.
Yes.
Yeah, we were on for a Gridman episode, yeah.
Yeah, Trent, you had
Back in the before times.
Yeah.
Yes.
You had the exciting experience of watching like one of the first episodes and then like one of the last episodes, and it's like
With nothing in between.
This escalated quickly.
Just reconstructing what I find from tropes. Just building the middle section from what I know from storytelling convention.
There was a beach episode.
Yeah, well, of course there was.
It was a river rafting episode, but yes, it was a beach episode in that bikinis were involved.
Yes. So that's a trope that you can definitely assume.
And this trope is the sequel series. Perhaps our first true. Well, I mean, I guess the
Beast Machines.
was the
Armada and Energon.
Was it the Unicron trilogy? I was trying to think of what it was.
Yeah, well,
I mean, it was those were sort of planned out-ish.
Yeah, well, Armada and Energon were. Cybertron was sort of jerry-rigged in the translation to English to make it fit.
I mean, clearly the toys were meant as a sequel to Energon. The fiction, kind of, sort of, maybe, sort of. But this is much as Beast Machines was to Beast Wars. This is the sequel to Transformers Prime, although in this case it went the opposite direction that the Beast shows went.
Yes, it became more fun.
Yes, wackier and goofier.
Yes, but also still lots of animals.
Yes, and unfortunately, maddeningly so. They once again named it Robots in Disguise, even though there's so many things associated with this franchise called Robots in Disguise.
And
well, it's one of the few Transformers series where the disguise aspect actually plays
This is
in
true.
on a regular
This is
basis.
Yeah, it's the most appropriately named thing that's Robots in Disguise, but the fact that it's like the fourth thing named Robots in Disguise is annoying.
The two cartoons with Robots in Disguise in the title are the ones that most actually deserve the bloody title.
This is true.
Wasn't...
Because even the first one, they spent a lot of time hiding in vehicle mode, which...
And at this point, didn't this start... I know at least at some point while it was running, it was concurrent with there being an entirely unrelated comic series under Robots in Disguise.
Yeah. What? Transformers is recursive? I am flabbergasted.
Which Bumblebee is this?
It's the Groundhog Day of franchises.
The kid Bumblebee, or the Bumblebee who doesn't talk, or...
Wait. Damn it,
Surly Bumblebee, which I guess we have now.
Has there been a Groundhog Day episode of Transformers?
Shockingly, no.
Dang it, now I want that. We've digressed already. Anyway, yes.
So yeah, this began airing in late 2014. Apparently it first aired on some sort of Chinese video streaming website.
Oh, for the first season?
Yes.
I mean, I know the later seasons.
And then I think maybe somewhere in Dubai or something?
Yeah, there was...
I remember something about Dubai.
It was like the second half of the first season, or the second season aired in Dubai like a month or two before anywhere else. Which is how most of our friends saw it.
I think it may have even premiered on Canadian TV before it premiered on American TV.
It was very...
You go searching for GIFs of the show, and you'll find a lot of stuff with the with subtitles.
Yeah.
And and with Chinese subtitles and all that, because those aired first.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very big, watching Beast Machines downloaded from Canadian TV in a little tiny real player window kind of vibes.
Real
there.
media files.
I mean, thankfully no longer reliant on circa 2000 technology.
And you're
Enjoy 30 seconds of 100-pixel video after just 3 days download.
hoping you have a friend on a college campus so you're not just relying on your apartment's cheap dial-up.
We are old.
So,
I admit I've only hearing about the second hand because I was both too young and also I already lived in Canada, so I just watched it on TV.
man, no fair.
Without realizing how much everybody else was agonizing over not being able to see it on TV.
Yes. Well, I assure you that Alt Toys Transformers was very upset about
All up in a dander.
Well, they were mad about Beast Machines to start out with, so this must have only compounded things.
They were still mad about Beast Wars.
Yeah.
It was that very, like, I hate this and the portions are too small kind of.
Oh. Jeez, the chill pill I would tell us to take if I had a time machine.
I hate this and I can't easily watch it.
It gets so much worse.
In 10 years, the maximum length of continuity will be 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years if we're lucky.
Hurts.
That's
It
why
hurts.
I said maximum.
Well, unless you're rescue bots.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Apparently, if you're rescue bots, despite the fact that your audience age out rate is like ridiculously high.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's the thing, is the audience is aging out of it, so they keep getting a fresh audience of small children to sacrifice to the rescue bot
To
scouts.
drag it back to the thing that we're actually supposed to be talking about, I guess, I mean,
Yes.
that was, as I recall, a major factor in how Robots in Disguise's tone came about. Most of the audience was aging out of serious Transformers already, and Prime started, aiming high.
How do you age out of serious Transformers? Do you just age into not Transformers at all, or do you age into being
I've
like...
been managing lately.
I mean, I was gonna say you age
That's
into
what I've been doing.
being like us, where you're just tired of everything being dark and serious all the time, and you age back into the fun, youthful Transformers.
Yes,
Well,
we are recording.
This is actually something that Greg and I can speak to, because we actually do have inside scoop on this part. A lot of what we did, the writing that Greg and I did for Hasbro at the time was in the form of these pitches. They would,
And we can't give you many details about those, but we can give you a general what they were looking for.
right.
Yes, please do not violate your NDAs for us.
There were 2 sets of pitches that we did, 2 big ones, and some smaller stuff around. We did some bios and some other little things. But the main thing was they wanted some heavy reboot. There was an initial wave of like 5 of them where they were like, we want no continuity ties. We want heavy reboot stuff that we can put in our files if the movie and animated both tank.
Oh, so
Well, that kind of thing. It wasn't that far back.
So we're going back quite a ways back then.
They were talking about like if we don't know when this train is going to run out with the movie continuity, we don't know when this stuff is going to happen. So we need to be able to make a hard sort of Beast Wars turn at any point was what a lot of the stuff was for.
So was this when Prime was still running? Was this before
Yes.
Prime?
Yeah, this was when Prime was still
during
running.
Prime. And I imagine also it's part of just the idea that, I mean, you all have seen the various concept arts that came around. Like the original concept art for animated was supremely different, both from what animated became and what everything else Transformers was. So I imagine there's also a lot of throw it at the wall and pick out the chunks that look good, and then
Yeah, and that is actually a factor of it. I mean, basically, with RID, the way it works with the pitches that Greg and I have done is it's sort of like taking a pig to market and recognizing the hooves in the the sausage. But we know that, parts of that particular piece of livestock did make it into the Oscar Mayer. So, we can see little chunks. But the main thing that, there was a second specific pitch that Aaron got us to do, which is the one that Robots in Disguise most resembles. It has a lot of the sort of story bones and character archetypes and a couple of character names and things like that. Alt modes and personalities and stuff like that. And that was what we were what Aaron wanted us to do with that was to do something which at the time was a continuity, was not connected to any previous continuity, but was supposed to be aimed at an audience that was between Rescue Bots and Prime. They were wanting to kind of skip the average age back a couple of years so they could hold on to the audience a little longer. And that was sort of part of what I believe led to the tone lightening in Robots in Disguise, because I think it was intended to sort of slot in there. It was supposed to pull back a little bit on the age range. And so things got sunnier.
Yeah, because by this point, the movies were starting to lose their steam.
Yeah.
I mean, they were still making ridiculous sums of money, but not as much ridiculous sums of money.
And, I mean,
more reasonable sums of money.
We certainly didn't see the vast, expansive toy lines for them as they moved on.
There was a diminishing returns effect with the toy lines, just because you'd have a Camaro Bumblebee every movie every 2 years with 18-month toy lines. So there was never any gap, and there was always a version from an older sibling that you could pass down.
And just to clarify, you were pitching this to Aaron Archer of Hasbro?
Aaron had come to us and said, we want to hire you on to come up with a hard reboot pitch in this specific age range around this sort of, he referred to it as sort of a Scooby-Doo-ish kind of level of tone.
Okay.
And that's where a lot of that came up, and a lot of aspects of the RID experience seem to reflect that particular pitch.
I mean, it's still very different.
Yes,
we did not create RID.
Like I said, we're recognizing slices of hooves and snouts and processed sausage.
You know where that liver came from.
Yeah, we know. Yeah. We know which particular pig that liver came out of, but it's not only gone through the process of being made into the raw materials. It's been then passed on to a chef that has cooked it into Robots in Disguise. But we got hired on to lay down some ideas, and some of those ideas got plucked up for ingredients.
I guess my big question, and maybe you know the answer here, maybe you don't, is who decided it needed all the furries?
Okay, I don't know who decided that it needed all the furries, but who's responsible for it having all the furries is me.
Oh.
Okay. That's why I was sort of curious about, was that something that was in your pitch, or was that something where the toy designers were like, we think it'd be fun to do some beast themes?
We have reason to believe because we had similar themes in a pitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was something that came up at the pitch level and wasn't just like, I don't know, in the toys or some other aspect, because that's really...
It's obviously, the decision to go on it is because somebody at Hasbro saw that, or we were thinking along similar lines, or they saw the sketch that I sent in with the pitch. But what would have happened is they would have gone through the entire room of stuff, because they basically told us there's a big old file someplace that's got all these contingency plans, all these pitches, every idea anybody's ever come up with. And whenever they're doing something new, they dig through the file and see what looks good. And so, they would have gone through that. They would have seen something that with around the Beast Con concept, and they would have made the decision, and they would have laid out what characters were what, and so forth. it was just sort of a vague thing of like, animal people is cool.
I always sort of saw it as like an outgrowth of the superhero-y nature of the show, because it's like Spider-Man. He fights the Vulture and the Rhino and the Chameleon.
Yeah.
See, I'm more of an X-Men person, so I don't automatically assume villains as animal people, but coming from a Spider-Man background, I can absolutely see that.
Well,
that assumption.
One thing I've noticed about Robots in Disguise, it has it's got a gang of 5 right out of the start, which is a very strong superhero team setup.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, one of those 5 always stays behind. He's more the Alpha 5 than Black Ranger, but we get our 5th field person very shortly.
And they're also very color-coded.
But yeah, I can see it. Yeah, very color-coded, very... Geez, I only just associated the fact that both Fix-It and Drift are orange.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the thing about Robots in Disguise that really is unique to it. I guess discounting like stuff where the entire series was animals, but you've got this not like there's a big deal made out of it being like it's not in the name. It's not like Transformers BeastCons.
Right.
But the fact that all the Decepticons have some kind of animal theme going on, really makes it unique among, like, the previous series. And that not being something that's aggressive.
Well, I was also discussing something along this line with someone on Twitter, and it was the idea that having your Autobots and Decepticons with recognizable themes is really quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because, that was early Transformers. You basically had, you had your military guys and Soundwave, and then you had your normal cars, and, like, the aerial bots and Stunticons was a big deal because they flipped the script.
Yeah, that was, like,
and
a big
even the
part
first
of it.
movie, all your Decepticons are war machines.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Every last one of them is a war machine, and then you've got mostly civilian stuff. And one rescue vehicle for the good guys. So it's a very good theming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it does lead to a lot of really interesting character designs and character ideas that you wouldn't see otherwise. Because even, like, the Beast era stuff, or, like, I guess Arachnid had her occasional, like, intermediate mode, but it's not something, you don't often see, like, a vehicle mode that turns into, like, a wolf robot guy. So it's really neat.
You also get a natural, like, a little bit extra in the character, just from the standpoint that the animal form is almost always going to be somewhat distant from the norm. And so it's like, you would have a villain like Steeljaw, who normally would be, he's a 4-wheel drive vehicle or a Jeep or whatever you want to call his particular tech thing, that turns into a robot. Now he gets a little extra stirring in of canine werewolf features to give him a little bit of extra spice above and beyond whatever personality they have. It's a little twist of that TMNT magic. That they can kind of squeeze in there.
Tumblr really likes his spice.
It's not hard to remember things about the villains in this, just because but a combination of the animal modes and the fact that generally the characters were given distinct voices and tics.
The voice cast of this series is completely bonkers.
Yeah, everything had a shtick too. Yeah.
Yeah,
we got Eddie Deason in a Transformer show. That is fantastic.
Well, going back to who was it that mentioned like the Spider-Man-iness of the villains? You go back to that. The villains in Rid are also kind of more super villainy, because with the exception of Steeljaw's pack, they all have their own little agendas and schemes and comic booky themes to their ne'er-do-wellingness.
Yes, I seem to remember, I think Margaret Scott, who worked on the show, talked about the writers for the show having like a big book of crimes that they had to match up with the various villains on the show.
Oh yeah. Well, it kind of helped by lowering the stakes and letting the characters shine, which is why the show kind of got the most boring when stuff like Megatronus showed up. It's like,
cosmic evil stuff's happening.
Turns into a tank.
All right. This is a nice door opening to something that I'm going to say that may make people mad.
Uh-oh.
One of the best things this show did was keep Optimus Prime the hell off the screen for as long as possible.
Fuck yeah.
Yes. And kept Megatron off the screen completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think as much... Because, and this is something that I've seen come up with the newer series, is there's a lot of complaining that Optimus Prime has basically just become this random monologue generator. And he's not really...
Modern Optimus Prime is basically an imitation of Peter Cullen Optimus Prime making an important speech. Even when Peter Cullen is playing him, he's an impression of Peter Cullen doing an important speech.
Yeah.
Making a big speech.
Yes.
It's kind of sad.
So really... Your only choices are to do something completely different with him, which Hasbro probably isn't going to be on board with, or just take him out of the picture for the most part, as was done here.
Why doesn't Optimus Prime play basketball anymore?
Honestly, I thought
we were all thinking it.
Season 2 had a really good arc for the finale, where the fact that Optimus Prime is, as a character now, this larger-than-life presence, is itself a conflict.
Mm-hmm.
The finale of Season 2 has the fact that Optimus just kind of wades in and assumes his standard role, and Bumblebee's just like, dude, my team, my family.
This is my team.
These are the people I've worked with for the past I don't know how long. We know that we know what we're doing. We've got a thing going. Dude, back off.
This is not Team Prime, this is Team B.
And then wacky Uncle Ratchet kind of goes, kids, right, you know.
Yeah.
And it was a good, because it also gave, for what we have Optimus Prime with a character arc, realizing I don't need to do this, and this isn't cosmic huge war stakes. I mean, this is important, but maybe I should back off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I miss when Optimus Prime was a character.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
We are recording this a couple days after that Netflix Siege show came out, and I think most of us have watched some of it at least.
I had a lot of fun drunkenly live tweeting the first half of it last night. I think the highlights were yelling that Cog is not a character, he is a pile of guns, and so he should shut up.
Somehow passes a weapons check?
He is a weapon. What?
I haven't watched it yet. I've been doing other things like filing my toenails and a good pedicure.
I definitely that was I think about the only way to not. I don't drink very much, and I guess warning to anyone for whom drinking is not a thing that's good to talk about. But I have like an alcohol intolerance, and it gives me this hay fever reaction. So basically all I need is like one good craft beer, and I'm just sitting there like, screw you, Sky Jet Fire, go do a science and shut up.
Honestly, I really think Robots in Disguise's big strength is in its character dynamics.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because it actually got me to like Sideswipe and Drift. Not just, genuinely enjoy them and like them as characters, and that's a tall order.
I like Drift's sons, who I realize were not technically his sons, but his babies.
I mean, Drift is a bastard, but like, just seeing the bits where he's starting to melt and where he's starting to really start to gel with the team,
mm-hmm.
and the moment where he hugs Slipstream and Jetstorm, and it's like, oh, right, I gotta be stoic, right.
I've got the one toy I ended up getting, and it was running at a time when my finances were pretty tight, so I wasn't just like impulse buying toys. But I did get a figure of Strong Arm because I like her a lot. She's great. She's very...
strong.
I really wish she had a different name. I love her, but dang, that name was a bad call. Even before
2020.
Even if they'd gone with long arm, like the long arm of the law.
Still not great, but better.
Yeah, female Transformer named Strong Arm. Good call.
Yeah, that's true.
Police car named Strong Arm.
Maybe not as great.
Not good
Simpsons gif of everybody tugging their collar.
Worse now.
Yeah.
And I think that the character dynamics, that is, I liked Prime, but everybody got along pretty well on Prime. And, they were sort of like this finely honed military machine. Everybody was good at their job.
Yeah.
And, there wasn't a lot of character conflict.
Yeah.
Whereas Robots in Disguise...
You had a lot of really good individuals, yeah.
Yes. Whereas Robots in Disguise, it is a bunch of weird goofballs who don't know each other particularly well and are thrown into a situation they are wholly unprepared for.
Just these delightful disaster children.
Oh, yeah, what was it? There was a tweet yesterday by...
Disaster bisexuals.
Yes,
Genevieve Frank? I probably just mispronounced her name. Yeah.
Jen, apparently, on Twitter, it said, the bisexual disasters is like... Oh, now I might actually understand the characters more. It makes more sense. Because at the time I do like the dynamic, like they have inter-character conflicts. It's very much a Super Sentai dynamic. But half the characters I don't like. Like, as you mentioned, Sideswipe and Drift, and I can't stand Fix It.
Oh, then you're a bad person.
That's going to be a point of debate.
You're a bad person and should feel bad.
We are going to tie you down and make you watch My Cousin Vinny.
Like, it's his verbal tick. It grates on me almost as much as, what was, the Martian girl from that one Teen Titans cartoon?
Young Justice. Hello, Megan.
Yes. Her verbal tick was more annoying, but Fix It's like, the fact that it happens every episode and like, it feels like somebody else should finish his sentences after a few episodes and get where he's going, but we'll get there. Like,
I do really like, just going back to the Decepticons for a moment, I did really love when you'd have their animal nature really like contributing to what, like, Filch's, and of course I love Filch. I love Corvids. And just the fact that the whole story around her was just her acting like a bird. And, especially you'd get that with some of the more insect ones where, like, their whole criminal thing was something that was very, based on that animal thing. And that was it was very interesting and it was a lot of fun. And I almost dare say it was a little bit educational for the kids.
Well, yes. Animal modes definitely put a lot towards giving you a base to start off with right away.
Mm.
Yes.
Even in the abstract, like, let's go with Quillfire. I love Quillfire. In a better universe, he would have been voiced by Rick Mayall. But we're not in that universe. But just the fact, okay, so he's a porcupine. So he's a prickly thing that you don't want to get near and is most effective when running away. Mm-hmm. Bam! That's his character arc. He's an obnoxious prick, literally.
Viva la revolution.
Yeah, and his whole gear is turning his back and running as far as he can while throwing stuff behind for you to deal with.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, there was pretty much immediately filthy fan art of Steeljaw, so that follows with the whole wolf thing.
Well, people love wolves.
Yes, people love wolves.
It's also that, like, the other Decepticons are animal people, and Steeljaw is flat out a furry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, and there is a difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
like, are there any others that have, like, animal faces other than the frog, who really doesn't have a frog-like personality?
Well, Quillfire's got kind of an animal-y face. It's more of a persona. Dinosaur face than a porcupine. But
Bisk has like a lobster face.
I think the word you're looking for is anthro. Or kind of
anthro.
Nothing's immediately coming to mind.
But it's like, I don't know if you guys have seen the thing passing around like on the web of like how to tell if an artist is a furry. You ask them to draw a dog.
Oh,
and it's like a normal dog, and they always have the furry face when they do the dog.
Yeah, you got to be able to draw the animal first before you do the furry version, guys. You got to cover it up better.
Yeah,
So I do appreciate that the moment that we as a society online decided to stop kink shaming furries were immediately actually kind of cool.
Yeah. But it's like, I'm just laying out that, like, there's, like, a whole bunch of, like, grotesque beast men, and then there's stupid, sexy Steeljaw.
Yeah,
Plus
nobody's,
he gets this big,
And
dumb
you give him that
sidekick.
voice, and you give him that mannerism.
yeah, nobody's writing fanfic about Clampdown.
No.
Well, there was some at least Japanese fan art of a couple of the other guys, including,
Oh, I hope not the guys with tentacles.
Stallone's brother. What was his
Yeah,
name?
Thunderhoof and Steeljaw became a ship, like, immediately. Because Thunderhoof was basically Steeljaw's dumb sidekick.
He's his himbo.
Yes, that was just immediately Tumblr was like, here you go.
And here we go. Here's another good character design thing with Thunderhoof. Okay, his whole thing. Headbutting, headstrong, stomping, angry, boom.
Yes.
Fits the animal themes very
And
well.
tractor.
Also,
A tractor.
yes.
Oh,
He runs like a deer.
it's like
A
only
thresher,
the second
yeah,
tractor
thresher
we've gotten.
tractor mode, yeah.
So good.
I assume they couldn't release him in green due to contract. Due to
I was kind of annoyed that we did, like, we got Redecos of some of the other guys. We should have got him in green or maybe orange. Orange would have been nice. There are some tractors in orange.
I mean, the redecos played into the show sometimes in ways that were extremely visually boring. But there's one episode I think midway through the run where everybody is brown.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
There was
that's
one towards the
Autobots,
end
that.
where they got hazmat colors.
Yes.
I
Where
just
they were all
really...
in, like, bright yellows.
I'm
Yes.
just very
See,
sad.
I would have loved
that,
to have had a couple of those in toy.
I'm just very sad that Filch never got a proper toy.
Now that is
All I'm saying is that, despite my various thoughts about third-party stuff, whoever makes a deluxe scale clamp down is going to have my money.
Yeah,
Yes.
the BeastCons got
Hose?
mistreated when it came to their toy use, and
the toy line is kind of all over the place.
yeah,
I have a feeling that that's less about beasts and more just about Decepticons in general and the general Batmaning and A-list charactering of the line.
I understand it. I understand the thing. It's just, it seems to be to me a sort of a tragedy that for the first time that you get really interesting, wild, completely toyetic across the board beast mode, like bad guys, that's when they decide we're going to start treating this a little bit more responsibly when it comes to the number of bad guy toys we release.
Yes.
Yeah, we're getting
Like-
Power Rangers-ified. Damn
The
it.
ones we did get though, I really like.
They're good, but they're flawed.
I mean, there's some early, like I do wish that Steeljaw had come later in the line where they really got a hang of it.
Yeah.
he's mostly good, but his arms just aren't quite right. He's like on Knockout,
Oh yeah,
and
Knockout.
that he's almost a good toy, but not.
I would love it if they would just sneak him into Kingdom or something.
Yeah.
It looks like we might get a knockout in red, according to some
Oh
of the
right,
leaks.
the like a action mastery.
And
guy.
I mean, I'm already sold on that. That's happening.
Oh yeah.
Especially because there's apparently already one of the leaks is a different one is Prime RC, so I need her to beat him up just constantly on my desk.
It was rather fun because I was talking with a friend about said leak, and he's like, "Well, I've never really watched that far into Prime, so I'm a little shocked that they're doing he's like, I'm not really shocked that they're adding a knockout. Why would they do that?" I'm like, "Dude, okay, let me show you this clip." And so I showed him the clip of Prime from when Knockout and Starscream were bickering over the keys that unlocked them at late in the third season, and like, oh great, why didn't I think of it? And he's like, okay, I get it now. I immediately get why people love him.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. You love him too, asshole with the car horn.
Passerby.
That is one of the things that Prime and Rid both had going, is that the villains were not the standard 1984 fare.
No.
And I will say this, the Decepticons have only improved in the quality of their army since the start of the show, the start of the franchise.
Yes.
Because originally it was 3 kind of distinct dudes in the wave of repaints, And it hasn't really not been that for a lot of periods.
Yeah, it's a lot of... It's a lot more like sort of conniving. I mean, again, like I said, you get a lot of characters who are sort of influenced by having like insect modes or crab modes or crow modes.
And even some of them, even if I can't remember, like I can't remember the name of the polar bear one. But I remember him because he had a power.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So they're a lot more interesting, and they're a lot more like conniving and a lot more tricksy. They're not as much just like ha ha. They're
even like fun. Somebody who's only going to appear for like 2 minutes, like one of the different skunk ones. They gave him the Edward G.
Yes, I remember
that
those.
sticks in my head. I'll never really think of him much again, but I remember him.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think part of what one of the advantages that Rid has, because it's a series where the Decepticons are not out to conquer the world through most of it.
Mm-hmm. They're just escaped criminals.
Yeah, or like, they are, but Steeljaw's plans to conquer Earth are so threadbare, and like, just clearly just him, that's his pitch scam to get people in on his into his marketing seminar. Basically, it's like that's how he gets them in the pyramid scheme. Is with we're gonna take over the Earth with our 6 guys.
It's
Whoa,
like
he's not actually as cool as they seem.
It's like he's always setting up an Ocean's 11, but he's got the dumbest guys on his side, so he can never finish the plan.
It's like,
yeah,
I just assumed I would be dealing with people like Thundercracker and Starscream. I did not know I would have to work with this.
Like the smartest guy on his team is the one who got his ship stolen in his first episode.
But like, removing that galactic conquest, like, as a serious aspiration, makes them such a more interesting group of people, because they can have individual wants that aren't just take over the world. Like, the frog guy, Springlode. His whole obsession with not El Dorado.
Yes.
Doradus, yeah. Just, that wouldn't work in most Transformers series, because Megatron wouldn't let one of his soldiers just wander around looking for a lost city.
Right. That was the sort of thing you would get in like that period of the Marvel comics after Megatron died.
Yeah.
But before Simon Furman took over, so you had like Rat-Bat running a car wash and all that.
The Decepticon graffiti and
Yes.
It's the kind of thing that a guy would have in his toy bio in like 1988 that would be mentioned maybe once in a comic book.
Ground Pounder.
Yeah.
I love Ground Pounder. His whole thing is just,
Oh,
I
yeah.
just want to beat people up in front of a crowd. That's great.
Yeah.
Filch just wanted shiny things. She just wanted to have a nest full of shiny things, and that's very relatable, I think, for all of us.
Yeah, and you got like mad scientists who want to do experiments, and
You got a guy in the Space Mafia.
the guy in the Space Mafia, the one that just wants to make, I guess, robot honey. I wasn't clear on what the bee was up to.
Oh, Jack A. Harry.
She was hypnotizing humans to make a kingdom.
Yes.
She was definitely doing extremely bee things.
Which would clearly be towards the goal of producing robo honey. But, because, bees.
Yeah, make Robo Honey, menace Nicolas Cage.
The usual.
Yeah.
Her plans aren't small. No.
She's just extremely a bee.
Bonk into somebody's window a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Man, I'm really looking forward to getting back to this series, because I watched the first season and maybe a little of the second season, and then I kind of lost track of when it was on and where it was on, and I moved, things happened,
I think it's...
So yeah.
Like I said, I really do enjoy this show a lot. I would enjoy it even without the, associations. But like...
Even if you hadn't been
the
involved.
fact that... The Stunticons. I actually didn't object to this G1 intrusion into Robots in Disguise because they took the time to stop and, okay, how do we make each of these idiots interesting? I mean, the fact that you had a drag strip in Wild Break, I guess, was it? They named him?
Yeah.
Yeah, Wild Break was the one who seemed to be Breakdown and Knockout's
schmuck.
kid.
Yeah.
Their dumb child.
The schmuck and the Maurice LaMarche, Ralph Cramden guy. You had the snot. You have the jock bro, and then you've got this big muscly idiot. I love the episode where they think, oh, the king of the road? That means that we're the kings of all Earth roads. That is an incredibly early, why have I just blanked on his name? Who wrote the Marvel comic?
Motormaster.
No.
Oh, Bob
Budiansky. That's
Bob
a very
Budiansky.
Budiansky era early Transformers thing where they mistake something earthy for a big thing, and I am there for it. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, the later G1 intrusions, at least for the most part, they did stuff like that. They made them interesting and readapted them to that universe. I still wish that, like, we had gotten a combiner made out of some of Steeljaw's people.
Yeah.
Just so we could have had a second go at some of those characters at the very least in toy form.
Yeah, well, by that point they would have been
the combiners ain't great.
Yeah.
Yeah, the combiners, they're fun enough, but they are not
Very
great shakes.
Very strong Leo Kaiser feelings there with having your animal themed robots as a combiner.
Yeah, I picked up the Cyclonus combiner. I'm pretty sure it was at HasCon.
Yeah, I like that well enough.
I love these vehicle modes. I really do. I really wish they had better toys.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the toys were really... This was the beginning of the road that got us to Cyberverse. Because Cyberverse is a toy line that's very much, based around... I don't want to sound mean about saying based around playability over, like, being any kind of accurate representation of the character, but, when you're an older collector, that is sort of a thing. That's why they had to go and make the deluxe series of Cyberverse toys, because people actually wanted those characters that looked like those characters without being, like, handicapped by having to have... no elbows for some punchy gimmick.
Well,
I think the early Cyberverse toy line has way more dire problems than just sacrificing for gimmicks.
Yeah, I think
plastic
prices are going up.
I have an opinion on that, but I didn't mean to interrupt.
No.
But what I was basically like, I think what hurt Cyberverse's gimmick stuff compared to other generations is that typically, like in Beast Wars, if you got a figure that had a gimmick, which early on was all of them, the whole figure and the character itself was built around the gimmick.
Right.
So, like, the Bone Crusher, the Buffalo, who had the xenomorph head pop out and the missile spit out of his mouth.
Yes, the big rhino alien thing.
That worked for him because they built the whole toy around that.
Right.
The way the character was designed was to look like it would have like a ramming feature, like the head would go forward. It had the mouth that was designed to always look like it was roaring to spit the missile out. It was built to kind of hold that central mechanism in both modes, and it integrated really well and was it contributed to the character. And in Cyberverse, unfortunately, they're stuck trying to apply these types of gimmicks to pre-existing designs that don't change to accommodate them.
Right, so that only really works if you're going from a toy-first design perspective and not a character-first design perspective.
And I think that it winds up being one of those things where it benefits the show a little bit more when you do that, because toyetic design doesn't just apply in toys. It applies in fiction as well, because if a character is designed toyetically, I mean, you see this in like the way that Dark Souls bosses are designed, where you can tell what their deal is by looking at them. Because they essentially have big action feature parts.
Right. That they kill you with.
That they kill you with, but that's the type of play that they do. That's the nature of their toyeticness. And you can have that in fiction. Anytime something looks cool and does what it looks like it should do, very obviously, that's a little bit of toyetic nature to sort of sprinkled in, a little element of play in the world. And I'd have loved it if we'd gotten a Starscream that had the big missile pods on the wings, if that was what the toy and the design was built around, because then we could have had a cool missile pod Starscream thing in the show. Also, he wouldn't look like every other Starscream in the 3 other concurrently running toy lines.
Yeah.
It's like, I get having the multiple toy lines, but why, if they're all doing the same thing, I'm confused.
Right.
Why not just have one?
Sort of defeats the purpose. So yeah, that does, I feel like, by the end of the Robots in Disguise toy line, they were sort of leaning more towards that, taking these characters and turning them into, like, more of a younger playable toy philosophy. But that we ended up getting with Cyberverse all in.
But yeah, it really is a unique series and the kind of series that I don't think we could have got even a couple years later. As Hasbro really seems to be aligning their design philosophy and with a sort of G1-ish, but not quite G1
it's a
aesthetic.
Very play it safe.
Yes.
They seem to be.
Yeah, you're not allowed to have new things. You're not allowed to try new things. You gotta stay with what's known and what's safe, and I guess that's gonna be all well and good until everybody already has an Ironhide or a Megatron or...
Yeah. Well, hey, that means
else.
they'll just have to mix it up, do something else, do something crazy.
And I've raised this point elsewhere. It just kind of runs counter to how Transformers has always worked.
We're getting our second Skylinks in, a reasonable number of years.
And it's not that I don't like Skylinks or anything.
Something like Skylinks is weird enough that's fine.
Yeah, that's true.
But that you can have Earthrise and Steege. Yeah, I still call it Steege. Fuck off.
Steege.
Those two Starscreams on the shelf at the same time, and you've got your 14th Generations Prime that looks like the Generation 1 cartoon model, and the fact that we've got 3 RCs coming out that all turn into roughly the same car, and 2 of them are at the $20 price point. Okay, 4 if the Series 3 Tiny Turbo Changers ever come out.
I do appreciate that the Cyberverse RC doubled down by making the white also pink. So she's just like extra pink.
But no, it just kind of runs counter to how Transformers, and I realize as I say this that so much of Transformers success relies on luck and risk and Hail Mary plays and what do we have to lose? And just because, like, even the movies, even the live-action movies, it was like, well, we're modestly successful now, so this, if the movie tanks, that's not really going to do much, so let's go nuts.
Yeah. I mean, it can't hurt the brand too much.
Yeah.
I'm sure people still buy Battleship to play, even though that movie happened.
Although I think that really did deal a significant blow to Hasbro.
Battleship?
It
Fiscally.
Oh, God,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they should have known better.
They flew too close to the sun.
Yeah.
Very good use of the Icarus metaphor.
Yeah.
What I, going back to the current trend in the toy lines is what I see happening and where I'm concerned is that normally the pattern has been the Kid AIM stuff churns new ideas into the franchise. And then those eventually get regurgitated into the collector stuff where they're repeated ad nauseum. And you kind of have this, like, distilling process.
Right.
And the problem is that for the past, 4 years?
Well, I mean, Robots in Disguise only ended in 2017, I think. So it hasn't been that long.
Yeah, well, time doesn't seem to move at the right speed anymore.
Well, no, I mean, we no longer...
50 years ago.
Yeah.
The dawn of time.
Admittingly.
Yes.
So, some of the, despite it all. But it's, right now nothing new is being churned in, because it's all very heavily reliant on 84, 85.
What? There's little snippets in Cyberverse, but they're also light.
I like those snippets. I like Shadow Striker. I like
Shadow Striker, who has 2 shit toys, and that's it. But hey, we're about to get our 7th Prowl in Cyberverse, so that's fantastic.
Why didn't Shadow Striker have a good toy? Why didn't Arak
Prowl didn't even do anything in that show?
Prowl, the most significant thing Prowl did was die, and that wasn't even significant.
Yeah, I got to that part and I was sort of like, so is that it for him?
Even ignore the idea that I think maybe we should retire Prowl for a little while, just as a concept. Just even besides that.
Just a little.
But I picked up, I like Hammerbite. I rather like, okay, Clobber isn't really new, she's just the poor man's Scorpia, but even a poor man's Scorpia is pretty good, because Scorpia's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But I like Hammerbite. I like the concept of Wild Wheel. His episode was garbage, but I like the concept of Wild Wheel. I like the concept of a lot of these new characters that they're doing.
Haven't gotten to it yet, but I like his design.
They're just coming way too late and not always executed great.
Yeah, and that was weird with the burst of here's a whole bunch of new guys. Thank you, but where'd this come from? It's been a while.
Maybe you should have spread those out.
I picked up what's his name, Thunderhowl, the armor up one, and it's genuinely a good toy. It's solid. I enjoy it a lot. It's got lots of joints and unnecessary joints. It's still got the silly armor gimmick that I'm probably never going to use again because I got to take his cape off to do that, and to hell with that. But I see these snippets of good stuff in Cyberverse, but it just has gotten buried in a combination of not 80s enough and bad writing. But
I have feelings.
It's just kind of sad.
Some of it. Drift. I have feelings about Drift.
Well, we'll be getting to that show eventually once we've gotten through Prime and.
I may ask to be part of that just because I want to rant at length about the Drift arc.
Yeah, just carve me out a 45-minute rant about the episode where they're leaving the planet and they have the arc fake out.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing those are short episodes.
Yeah.
No, literally that 15-minute episode I've got 45 minutes of bitch for. But
okay, we'll mark you down for what's going to be 20, 25 at this point.
Extra long complaining episode.
Assuming we all live that long, sure.
Oh, it's not an extra long complaint. It is a breakdown of how to structure a narrative. It's a college course that I built around this episode.
I'll do a lecture like that on the Velocitron episode about mood and tone.
Or just go watch that new H-Bomber Guy video about Ruby. It hits so many points that I'm sitting there looking at going, yeah, this all seems really familiar.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta watch that because I love and hate Ruby in a way.
What? Taking whole chunks of cool things and redoing them and not understanding why they work? Gee, I haven't seen that recently.
Yeah, that's kind of Ruby's problem.
It's kind of a lot of problems.
It takes them a while to hit the target. And then
he's bringing up these points and I'm sitting there going, geez, I recognize it in so many things I've watched lately in this franchise.
Also, it's spoilers because I don't think I've watched the last 2 or 3 seasons.
I never watched any of it, but I'm always up for a good criticism on plotting and all that, just to see what the thought. And it's like,
and just to keep an eye out for your own mistakes.
Yeah, Trent and I have had this argument before in works, not with each other, but with outside forces. A story is not just a collection of events that happen.
Right.
There has to be a point. Everybody's got their own particular, writing bugbears. Harmon's obsessed with the circles. I have an obsession with cost in terms of plot. I don't like when I'm plotting things, I don't like the clean victories. Like, whenever one person accomplishes something, there's always a side effect that has to be dealt with later, a sort of cascade of consequence. Which gets messy, but ooh, it's fun for drama.
Yes.
But
I'm just very much why should we care that the character involved? How does the character work in this? If I can slot in anybody else for this character, what am I doing?
Right.
And I know it'll sound pretentious, but what does this fight mean?
No, I'm on board with that.
Yes.
Well, it's like, when it comes down to it, like, one of the things that happens with every geek is you go through your who'd win in a fight with phase, which may last anywhere from 5 to 50 years, depending.
and sometimes it comes back every once in a while.
Yeah. But, you know, and with the differing degrees of taking it seriously and irony and levels.
Don't take it seriously.
Yeah, what, you know, are you exploring it? Is it an exploration of how the world building works or whatever? But largely you get over that phase. But once you do, you realize the writer determines who wins the fight. Almost always the good guys. And so the fight has to have some other point other than being a conflict. Because if it's who wins by force of strength, whoever the writer says. So you either have to make it an exercise in cleverness where you're attempting to engage and surprise the viewer by, you know, twists and things, or you have to make the fight about something else. Which is why so many battles between heroes and their villains also seem to happen while they're debating philosophy.
Yes.
I mean, and then, like, the killing stroke happens when when one person wins their argument.
Yes.
I mean,
No.
Those are the best.
But yeah, I mean, it's like, and I have just described all of anime ever.
Yeah.
I mean, this is another thing that Robots in Disguise was good at. The characters had reasons, had a reason for what they were doing beyond just, I'm evil. Well, except for Megatronus, but we'll ignore him.
Well, yes.
I mean, the fact that I want to go back to Eddie Deason. His whole thing is, despite the fact being this giant monster worm, he had self-esteem issues and got angry. And that was the whole point of why he was doing things, to prove himself. And that ties in with proving yourself and ties in with Jazz being cool and just, it's all character-based.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Each of the major characters in that story, who they are and how they respond to things is what makes the story work. My big thing, writing-wise, I have always loved the hero who never starts shit. Shit finds them. Mm-hmm. And then they make it worse before they make it better.
Well, that is Robots in Disguise in a nutshell.
Yes.
Ranma 1/2 was very formative for me as far as a hero who never starts crap, and it comes at them, and they blow it bad until they turn it around.
The Bugs Bunny?
And it's all very based on their eccentricities.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good summary of Robots in Disguise.
Yeah.
Yes. We're just trying to, hang out at this junkyard with the two human cast members who we actually haven't mentioned yet.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're an afterthought.
I mean, they're totally fine.
I like them.
I like that they at least tried to engage them with the flimsy excuse making. Mm-hmm. I kind of liked the sort of Buffy the Vampire Slayer-ish level of, like, selective amnesia normal people have. They'll accept any given excuse that makes them not think it's giant robots, which is the exact opposite way actual human beings are.
Yes.
I mean, it fits if you remember that this is in continuity with Rescue Bots.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's just the world this is. Just ignore them.
Yeah.
Just ignore Prime. That's just how this world works. And that's how a lot of old cartoons also worked as well, so works for me.
Oh, Rescue Bots might make the show more enjoyable the second time around.
Well, there's some character crossover there.
Yay!
And I was just going to say that having Ted McGinley in the show from the start means that you jump the shark immediately, so you're totally fine.
I did like that I'm pulling up stuff on the wiki as I'm reminding myself of it, and there's a little pull quote on Denny Clay's page. He's the closest thing to a responsible adult. I do appreciate that the adult needs an adult, because he does. He really does.
The show also uses a lot of bad disguises, and I'm a real sucker for bad disguises.
A lot.
Yeah.
Is a tarp a disguise?
I mean, if you're a giant robot, the answer is yes, apparently.
I adore Grimlock's attempts at finding a vehicle mode.
Yeah.
That's just, I mean, I just adore robots in disguise Grimlock in general.
Yes, I mean,
He had me from the first line. Somebody's fighting? I hear fighting! I want to fight!
Yeah,
They veer away from the prevailing Grimlock of the past decade or so.
Oh, yeah.
It works very well.
Yeah.
God, I miss that big lug.
Yeah.
Give him a new name and just stick him with the G1 Dinobots.
Yes.
No.
Stick a little horn on his nose.
Make him a Ceratosaurus.
Yeah.
Ceratosaurus.
Yeah, a Ceratosaurus. Just stick a horn on his nose. Give him a slightly different color scheme and go.
Or what's the Dracone? The one that's got a lot more horns on.
The Draco Rex.
Oh,
Yes, the Draco Rex.
Yeah, the Draco Rex. Make him one of those. That kind of fits his silhouette.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big fan of that one.
well, yeah, but then he won't have Godzilla in name only jawline.
No, you can keep that. Go ahead and keep that.
He's a robot one.
No,
He doesn't need to be completely accurate. He can be
Yeah.
a little stylized.
Yeah, I mean, as it stands, I mean, he's got 3 fingers. So.
Yeah.
It's not like the Dinobots are terribly.
Yeah, like the Dinobots are like they're accurate to the silhouettes of like modern paleontology of 1948. I want to say. So yeah, it's just like, but on the other hand, they were designed by a robot who found out about dinosaurs and thought they were neat. Like, give me that kid's book and that blowtorch. I've got some life to irresponsibly bring into the world.
Or depending upon the other timeline, they go by Savage Land's dinosaurs, which are very fucking weird.
Yeah, that's
too.
a whole thing.
They lost their feathers.
That's your good bag of rubber monster style of dinosaur right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
You buy that at the Eckerd Drugs
Yes,
for $2.50.
alongside the Marvel comics about the Savage Land.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting back into some robots in disguise.
No, it's a good series. I liked it.
Yeah.
It's a fun, light little series. It's not one to take seriously. It's not blank. No, it's just light fun, and it's kind of something that was especially missing from Transformers for a while.
Yeah,
Outside
Prime,
of Rescue Bots, you had Rescue Bots.
Yeah, Prime's very serious, and the movies are very serious when they're not being too
trying.
They
too hard
veer
to be
between
comic.
extremely stupid and extremely serious.
Well, you see, that's the thing is like the live action movies. It's not veering between being light and fun and being serious. It's veering between, as you said, being stupid and being serious.
Yeah.
Which is a different axis.
It's different forms of intense.
It's, as I've said, everything very cool from those movies I immediately associate with some absolutely. I can't hear people talking about how awesome the big combined Devastator is going to be without thinking about the enemy scrotum. It's just...
Yeah, that's...
Well, that's true, but then that makes me think of John Turturro.
On the other hand, it did give us Hound's bullet cigar, actually used as a bullet, which is, I'm sorry, that's objectively awesome.
Yeah, I like
Maybe
that.
not for Hound, though. I don't like that Hound. That's not Hound. He's Hound in name only while we're on that.
I stopped trying to associate them with specific
That's
G1
fair.
characters. It's not worth it.
I mean, it's a bunch of... It's movie
Yes.
Hound.
Yes.
Yeah, it's as much... It's like...
It's a bunch of caricatures. That's what you get. But no, And, I mean, I actually just responded to this on Twitter earlier today with just the fact one of the great things the original Generation 1 cartoon did was making sure that most characters had a unique voice, even if it was just silly accent or caricature of celebrity, or in a few cases, actual celebrity. I was a
little disappointed that Robots in Disguise went in more of a movie direction with Drift, but then I have to remember that the only Drift I actually like is the hippie himbo more than meets the eye Drift. So,
I think that's the only Drift a lot of people.
Yeah, like before that he was terrible. I mean, before that he was just absolutely unendurable, but then, you know, he became
I think the fact that they gave Drift little moments of humor, like when he dressed up as a ghost, yes. That was great.
I'm amenable to movie Drift because he is, after all, Ken Watanabe.
I was expecting a giant car.
Yeah.
But he's a caricature to.
But I do like that he has children. I like that he has babies. His babies are adorable, and I'm looking forward to seeing them again.
Yeah, like I said, it's just a series. It's a light, fun series. You sit back, you relax, you don't take it too seriously. It's never going to smack you in the face. It's never going to try too hard to be too serious and unearned gravitas.
It's got Windblade. I like Windblade.
I like this interpretation of Windblade.
Yeah.
Not my favorite, but I definitely like this version of her.
Her first animated appearance.
It's definitely better than the first season of Cyberverse where she's just Bumblebee's babysitter. Mm-hmm. Season 1 of Cyberverse, aka Bumblebee needs an adult. There's literally a bit where she leaves him on the ship and there's a button that he shouldn't press, and it's just him wanting to press the button, and I'm like, oh my god.
I know they say that his memories were just blanked out, but it feels like there was a lot more damage done than that.
It really does.
Like, and I mean, I guess you can do a reading where it's like that first season while he's recovering is super tragic because like he doesn't need an adult, he needs a medical professional.
Yes, he needs Ratchet. He doesn't need Windblade.
It's like, so what are we gonna do?
It's somehow not as bad as he's somehow worse in the episode of Robots in Disguise where Bumblebee gets reverted by Quillfire.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Bumblebee acts like a child, and that's hilarious.
I don't think I saw
Will
that
Friedle
one,
really nails it there.
Mm-hmm.
That was Quillfire's intro episode. He hits B with a quill that basically turns his maturity down to 0.
Oh no!
And so now,
that's Cyberverse.
which again, a nice character trait because Bumblebee had to be the responsible adult for Grimlock and Strongarm and Sideswipe, who are not responsible adults.
Yeah.
And now they gotta be.
Looking forward to that.
Again, character-driven. Yeah. Character! Who they are is important.
Yes.
Robots in Disguise. This scouting trip has gone horribly awry. It's like basically what winds up happening. It's just like, it's like you got the scout troop leader and a bunch of kids, and oh wow, they befriended the dinosaur first day. Now I got to deal with this.
They can't stop prodding the native life forms.
What's this do?
Poke.
But it would be nice to see the Transformers just get unleashed on Earth for a while to poke around and be confused by humans again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a fun series.
Yeah, so does anybody have any final thoughts before we wrap her up here?
I think that's pretty good.
Let's put fun back in Transformers.
All right.
Without having to just be like, I love G1, but come on, guys. Even I am a little exhausted.
If you want to loot nostalgia, we got plenty of non G1 options. We can make you a sizzle reel.
Yeah. Ooh.
All right. So, do you guys have anything you'd like to plug?
We got the Isle of Rangoon, our YouTube channel,
a puppet-based, largely riff, but also just whatever the hell we feel like doing at the time. including we need to really get back on this one. The ongoing breakdown of the lost UPN series Deadly Game, starring Christopher Lloyd.
Ooh.
Yeah, I gotta get back into that.
Yes.
We're at the halfway point where they thought they were going to lose Christopher Lloyd, and so they had to write him out of the show, but then they got him back, so they're like, well, we're keeping him in.
He's okay. Duke's gonna live.
And he gets to act like Christopher Lloyd. Oh man, he is one.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, I would love to write for him.
It's a great episode, but it also is one of those. It's a little bit difficult, and for me because it deals with father-son stuff, and that's just like instant waterworks for Trent.
Soft spot.
It's like if Cats in the Cradle comes on while I'm in a store, I gotta leave.
I do too, just because I hate that song.
But so that's been going, and the other thing is I am working on a webcomic. We don't have a devoted URL yet, but we have a Tumblr and a Facebook. It is the Dino Guard. That is spelled with a Y, DYNOGUARD. I hope I spelled guard there right, because that's one of those words I always get wrong because I double guess it. And it is about sentient dinosaurs from the Cretaceous period who get hurled into the future to fight monsters.
Best thing to happen.
It is very 80s.
Nice.
And Zero Mayhem, Evan Gaunt is our current penciler.
Okay.
Ooh.
So
he do good work.
Yes, he does.
He is good at the arts.
All right, so please join us next time for the first part of the Transformers Robots in Disguise 2015 pilot, entitled Pilot.
Oh boy, that tells me so much.
Hooray!
One of the best Decepticon characters ever, right out of the gate.
Oh, that's right.
Yay. I don't remember who, but we'll be there.
He's like...
Of course you don't remember, 'cause I eat it!
Oh, yes, I love that.
It's like if a hungry hippo was evil.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm gonna say this right now, just that this is when the show endeared me, and I realize it's late and we're trying to wrap up, but this is when the show endeared itself to me right away, when you see this giant quadruped slavering beast, and then the first thing he does is basically, yeah bro, I lift, I'm gonna go get some protein carbs and kick your ass.
I think
And then he names his biceps.
Yes!
Oh.
And then instantly I went, okay, this show knows what it's doing, I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first episode introduction character that it started on a really good foot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
4 of them.
I'm noticing Audacity stuttering, so...
Oh no.
Yeah, let's say
Yes.
and be done.
All right. Thank you for having me.
No, it was our
Stay
pleasure.
safe, everybody. Wear a mask when you go outside.
Absolutely.
Yep. Don't die, because we need our audience.
Take care of each other.
All right. So until next time, I'm Rob.
I'm Jen.
I'm David Locke.
I'm Trent.
I'm Morley Safer.